What's up, guys? MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and I'm going to react to the latest video. Is this Joe Biden? Probably. I'm 36. The latest Project L video from the Project L team, Riot Games, the Cannon brothers. This is take two. I tried to do a reaction live yesterday on my stream, but I was super tired. Joe Biden. And I had some technical malfunctions, so it was all over the place. So I'm doing a take two off stream. Awesome. Before I get into it, we look at the video. I just want to say that Riot Games, they seem to have a Midas touch. Everything seems to work out. I mean, I used to play Dota 2. I quit, but I know League of Legends, I've only played it once, is enormous. Is it the biggest game out there? It certainly looks like it on Twitch, and I know they are competing directly in the FPS with like Overwatch and Counter-Strike. We're competing with them with the game Valorant. Never played it. I hear it's doing really, really well. They have a Hearthstone competitor out there as well, right? They recently dropped the series on Netflix, Arcane, based on the League of Legends universe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But also seems to be, I checked Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 100% score after only 17 reviews, I think it is. But still, everyone, the word of mouth is that it's absolutely unbelievable. And I've been skeptic towards League of Legends, skeptical. But I happened to go into Netflix a few days ago, and promoted, as soon as I opened it, was Arcane. And they showed a 20-second clip. And I'm not exaggerating. And this is a guy that doesn't really like anime. Not saying that that is anime, but it has this 2D, you know, art style. And I have to say, my jaw literally hit the floor just looking at a few seconds of it, because to me it looked like a painting. So beautiful, every single frame. That painted art style. And just the genius of the cinematography, the directing. I gotta say, I was mind blown. And I shared these thoughts on stream, and people told me, well, do you know that the quality of the writing and the dialogue, the story, matches the quality of the visuals? And I was like, that's a big statement. And if that rings true, I will have to watch Arcane. And I don't have to tell you how incredible it is to get a video game adaptation that sees that type of critical acclaim. It just doesn't happen. So it's like, I don't know what it is, but Riot Games, it seems like they just cannot do anything wrong. Everything just seems to work out, and not only okay at an okay level, like 6, 7 out of 10. Everything seems to be 10 out of 10. So they seem to be on an incredible streak, and yeah, and now we're going into the fighting game genre. And if I was a fighting game developer, I certainly would be sweating buckets due to their track record, their resume. So anyway, let's get into it. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna start playing the video.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom, executive.
So sorry for pausing immediately, but yeah, these guys should need no introduction, but they are the founders of Evo, and they are also the men behind the rollback netcode. Right, so the best possible netcode you can have for a fighting game. Yeah, they need no introduction. Fighting game giants. And again, it's just testament to Riot Games on the ball. Like, what guys do we want as executive producers on our fighting game? Well, let's get the Cannon guys. I mean, it's like, yeah, destined for success.
Producer at Project L. And I'm Tony, Project L's technical lead. Last time we talked, I let you in on the secret that we're building a fighting game here at Riot. We showed you a brief glimpse of gameplay and said we'd be going dark for a while, but we'd share more when we're ready. Well, a lot's changed since then. We've made some great progress, and while the game is still too far out to commit to a release date, it's been a bit since you heard from us, so I want to bring up to speed on what we've been working on. From the beginning, we knew that we wanted to make a 2D fighter set in the universe of Runeterra, but the 2D fighting space is pretty broad. Even from that starting point, there are a ton of different directions we could take the game. After lots of exploration, we're excited to say that we've landed on a direction that we're pretty pumped about. In this quick update, we'll walk you through our high-level approach when it comes to core gameplay, character design, and netcode. But first, allow me to reintroduce Project L. Project L will be an assist-based fighter.
Sorry if there was any lag playing the trailer. Sometimes my recordings mess up a little bit when I use a browser, but I hope that was all right. But I do want to say straight away that I can start by saying that I used to play Dota 2 a lot, and I only played League of Legends once. So while I preferred the look of Dota, it's a little bit more gritty, desaturated. I really liked in League of Legends how everything just pops a lot. And you certainly have this here. And I just find that it's just so unbelievably clean to look at, this game. You see how the characters are immediately very separated from the background. They really pop. Like the background is a little bit more mellow or soft. The characters, every single color really shines and breathes on the characters. And you don't really have, while the characters have like a soft shadow on the ground, you really don't see shadows on the characters themselves. While there are shadows, they're very, very soft. So this is to have even more, I think, contrast in how the characters just pop on the screen.
Fighter, you'll build.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, the art style and presentation, as expected, is really beautiful. The animations are beautiful. I can't say I love these super edgy, like, what looks like teenager characters, punk, steampunk. It's never really been my cup of tea, although I like the big Chad there with the big shoulder pads, Road Warrior style, WWF. Yeah, I'm very old. And the huge axe, I like the slightly more mature style. I mean, if you want to call that mature.
We feel like this is the right foundation to build a game that rewards.
But I'm sure there's going to be a big mix. Platora, what's the word here? A big mix of characters with different kinds of styles.
Strategic team building and on-the-fly decision-making on top of strong fighting fundamentals. Our goal is to build a game that delivers a fast-paced, dynamic combat fantasy while leaving plenty of room for you to be creative and express yourself in gameplay. Like a lot of you out there, we're inspired by the insane outplays, hard reads, and 200 IQ plays behind some of the most iconic moments in fighting game history. The dream for us is to deliver a game that allows you to create new iconic moments for many years to come. Now let's talk about controls. I know that a lot of you have strong opinions about mechanical difficulty in fighting games. For Project L, we're embracing the easy-to-learn, hard-to-master mentality. So yes, we are making it easier to jump in with a new character and learn their basic kit.
So what he's saying here, and as was demonstrated, we saw the inputs, is that I'm guessing there will be no execution whatsoever in this game. To do attacks and specials, it looks like it's going to be one button press. Forward, attack. Down, attack. And this could be seen as controversial for people. Again, I've seen this video before, so he's going to explain it, basically saying that, yeah, so there is no execution barrier, but we just want people to immediately get into the meat of things, which is the strategy. So the most important question is not how do you do something or how to execute something. It's why are you doing that attack and when? Why are you doing it right now? The strategy. So remove a needless execution barrier and get to the brainy part, like the strategy immediately, rather than being held back by your finger dexterity. And you can say whatever you want about that. Now there should be execution. We all have our different opinions. But what I want to talk about is the Korean backdash in Tekken. And this might give you a heart attack. It certainly gives the elite community a heart attack whenever I say that. I actually wouldn't mind if they removed the Korean backdash. I'm 50-50. It can stay, you know, it's part of Tekken's identity, but I wouldn't mind if they did what we have in MK, for example, or Street Fighter. You just mash the back button and the character backdashes, you know, and retreats. I don't really see the point of something as basic as just backing away from your opponent, why you should need a PhD in execution to be able to do it. I mean, you should be able to back away in a game as offensive and overwhelming as Tekken, where people just, you know, do 10-hit strings in your face. Because to me, the interesting thing about a backdash is not being the finger dexterity and the execution. It's, do you know when to use it? When is the appropriate time to use it? And how do you use that? To not leave yourself vulnerable. Because you still have to take into account your opponent, right? And certain characters have far-reaching attacks, or there are good opportunities where now you should backdash. Or do you know how to backdash into proper whiff punish or spacing? It's like, I don't think the execution part isn't terribly interesting, and it's just holding 90% of a player base back, I feel, needlessly. But again, it's part of the game's identity, and it's kind of nice to see that, oh, this guy, because the skill ceiling on the Korean backdash is so high that, for example, I have a strong backdash, Korean backdash, but then again, like a guy like JDCR, who has the best movement in the world, if you ask me, his backdash is twice as good as mine. So there's a skill ceiling on it that you can appreciate. But I feel like the argument weighs higher for the opposing view, but I just mentioned that it's just needless finger acrobatics. The interesting question is not how, it is why do you use it and when? The brainy parts, the strategic parts.
That said, we absolutely believe in rewarding the time you spend going deep on a character and providing opportunities for you to showcase your high-end mastery. One of the delights of fighting games is seeing top players move and fight in a way that's inspiring and distinct from lesser skilled players. We want to set that aspirational summit and build a steadily increasing difficulty curve to get you there. This isn't about building a game where new players have a chance to be the pros. It's about unlocking the fun at all skill levels.
So basically, he here in a couple of words, he's saying, beginners, don't be afraid of this game. It's going to be very welcoming. No finger acrobatics. Oh, and hardcore FGC obnoxious douchebags like me, or FGC nerds. Relax. Don't do a Twitter tantrum. There will still be a lot of, you know, mechanics and depth to characters that you will make shine, you know, with many hours into the game. There will be complexity to the characters. So just in a couple of words, he's just trying to say that, you know, there will be something here for everyone.
Character design, of course, plays a huge role in this. For characters, our goal is to deliver on the iconic moves that League champions are known for, but adapted to work in a fighting game. We want our champs to have powerful, flexible kits that give you the freedom to play your character your way. As an example, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Ekko, re-envisioned for Project L. Ekko is a...
Oh, Ekko re-envisioned for Project L. I missed this yesterday, so he... Right, so Rune Terra? What was it called? What universe is that? Is it... Oh god, sorry for the old man burps. Is it League of Legends?
A punk genius. He's a brilliant inventor who, through time manipulation, can rewind his own mistakes and stay one step ahead of his opponent. The centerpiece of Ekko's kit is his Chrono Strike. It's a forward-moving slash that's a pretty good poke and a combo ender. When Ekko slashes with Chrono Strike, he generates an after image that he can rewind back to any time in the next few seconds of the match. You can use the rewind to double down on your first slash or make a different choice and branch into a high committal launcher.
Right.
Ekko works just fine as a mid-range zoner, but he really comes online when you take full advantage of the rewind ability. He can vary the timing of the rewind to mix up his opponent, or cover for assist attacks made by his teammates.
So that very Marvel-ish gameplay, tag assist, will be obviously a direct competitor to Dragon Ball Fighters. Is that still huge? You know, very reminiscent of Guilty Gear in art style, which seems to be the thing now. That's how people want to see 2D games. So basically 3D masquerading as 2D. And this game, again, it just looks so great. And here he explained, you know, that a lot of thought goes into the characters. And Ekko is going to be a zone. Sorry, 2D. But it's just making sure that we understand that thought has gone into giving the characters a unique gameplay identity.
And in the right hand, Rewind can also be a strong combo extender. And then there's Time Winder, Ekko's time grenade. Time Winder works great for basic zoning and combos. The real payoff comes when you're able to throw Time Winder from range, giving it a chance to charge up and explode into a time distortion field that slows Ekko's opponents for the next few seconds of the match. For both of these moves, our approach is to give you a tool with a clear primary role, with lots of potential for extra utility when you use it in the right situation. Now, while gameplay is obviously super important, high-quality netcode is essential for any great fighting game. So this is an area where we're investing big. I'm going to turn it over to Tony, and he'll walk you through some of our networking foundations.
Netcode has been a top-of-mind topic in the FGC for the past year, especially since we haven't been able to gather for live events. For Project L, we've designed our entire networking stack to deliver the same highly responsive gameplay that you'd get playing offline. Of course, this starts by using rollback networking at the core. Rollback does a great job of maintaining a consistent, low input delay across a wide range of pings. We've also developed a new networking model that enhances the benefits of rollback with core technology developed by other games at Riot. We'll route network traffic between players through Riot Direct, our internal network already being used to minimize latency in League of Legends and Valorant. We're also actively managing a player's connection to their opponent to ensure a consistent, fair play experience. If their connection is laggy or drops packets, their experience will suffer, but yours won't. And if someone rage quits in the middle of a match, our netcode will determine who should win and who should be penalized.
Beautiful.
We're taking netplay very seriously for Project L. It's the primary way that we playtest the game internally, and we're working every day to make sure it's in top shape for the eventual release.
We hope you enjoyed this.
So basically, in short, these guys are going to set a new standard. These geniuses are going to set a new standard for online netcode in fighting games. I mean, yeah, take my word for it, or take their word for it. It's going to happen, and I really hope Tekken 8 is not going to look like a bad joke in comparison, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be the case. But yeah, man, in terms of a package here, this game, like everything to do with the technical stuff, make it feel like a modern fighter. I think it's going to be top notch.
Sneak peek at Project L. Before we go, I want to remind you that our game is still in R&D. We're happy with how core combat is shaping up, but there's still a ton of work to do. Thanks so much for your patience while we take our time to make sure that we get this right. So that's all for now. Last time we spoke, Project L went dark afterwards, but this time we'll do our best to keep in touch when we have major news to share. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
They seem really nice and wholesome, and great presentation from them. I'm definitely going to try this game on release. I don't know if it's going to be up my alley in terms of gameplay. I do like Mortal Kombat, but I've never been a huge fan of like Marvel or Guilty Gear or Dragon Ball Fighters, but they're okay. I just prefer Mortal Kombat myself for many reasons. But I'm definitely gonna give this a shot. And again, it's probably going to be an amazing product. And you just have to mention that Jesus, people must be sweating, like fighting game developers. Again, the Riot game track record, you have the right minds involved here, and you just look at this and it's like, I mean, especially if your company name is Capcom or Arc Systems, this is a direct competitor. I think Tekken is I'm not that worried for Tekken because it does its own thing enough. You know, it's basically the 3D fighter. I mean, Soul Calibur does, I can't think of any other 3D fighter. Soul Calibur, but doesn't do nearly as well. Tekken has the 3D fighting market, right? So I think Tekken is kind of protected. And I think Mortal Kombat is different enough, but it just totally does its own thing with the fatality gore, tongue-in-cheek humor. Yeah, it does its own thing enough. But man, yeah, Arc Systems, Guilty Gear, the upcoming King of Fighters, the upcoming Street Fighter 6, like Jesus, this is just direct competition, and you know this is gonna be really good. And I don't know, is this gonna have like the free-to-play model of League of Legends where you buy heroes or characters? I have no idea. I don't know if they've talked about it. But apparently it's gonna drop in, so not next year, but 2023. And yeah, no, I can't wait to try it. And I'm thinking it's gonna be really good. So it might not be my type of game subjectively, we'll see. But I'm sure it's gonna be great. So great presentation by the guys. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this. And I'm just gonna wish you a lovely day. Take care.